All right, welcome back to our channel where we talk about life, marriage, working together, and everything you need to know about moving to Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to talk about things that you need to look for or things that you should know when buying new construction. A lot of misconceptions, so we're going to get right into it. So we have always bought new construction homes. I'm kind of a germaphobe, so I don't like living in other people's houses. And obviously we've helped a lot of clients buy new construction homes. So the first big misconception is that you don't need to have a realtor when you go to a new construction community. So a lot of people kind of don't put two and two together. So the builder representative represents the builder. Of course, if you walk in there, they're going to be nice to you and they're going to help you and give you all the information that you need. But when something hits the fan, they are not, like, they're representing the builder and they can't really.
The builder's best interest is that realtor.
Yeah.
Where you need somebody in your corner.
Yeah.
To kind of review those contracts and make sure everything's squared away for you.
Yeah. And just, point out things that you might not have thought of, because I mean, most of the salespeople here in the Springs, they're, pretty honest and upfront, but, you might not know that they're going to build a huge shopping center behind you, or that they're going to, that a road's going to come right through your neighborhood where you think it's just going to be open land. So little things like that, where if you hire an agent to work for you, then they're representing your best interest and they'll help you, through the whole process. So that's number one.
Well, another thing to add to that is the incentives, right?
Yeah.
Like the builder real estate agent is not always going to tell you all the incentives because they're going to use it as a selling point later to negotiate with you.
Yeah.
Where if you have a realtor, most realtors should be knowledgeable with most of the new construction sites and builders and communities and know what all those incentives are, so they can always make sure that you're getting all the incentives that you deserve and that you should be getting, rather than using them as a negotiation point later on.
Right. Number two is that the builder uses a different contract when you buy new construction that is written to protect the builder, as opposed to when you buy resale, the contract to buy and sell from the state of Colorado is written to protect the buyer more. So with building, you do have more risk because you're signing their contract no matter what. Like, you can't make changes to it. And it is written to protect themselves. So we had, for example, a community out east where they, were taking a long time to build the houses. They were saying, 9 months. And then it was brand new, never been developed. And then some of the houses were pushing into 2 years for completion. And the buyers really didn't have any recourse because the builder contract is written to protect the builder. So it'll say, if for any unforeseen circumstances like material shortages or weather delays or anything else, there's a lot of verbiage in there to protect the builders to where they don't have to, let you out of the contract for free.
And that one was mostly investors from California, right? Not all builders are like that.
No, yeah.
East.
It was a double whammy because they were the developer. Well, the builder was new to the area as well. So it wasn't, we have a few builders that have been around longer, where if they tell you a timeline, they're most likely going to be a lot more accurate to it because they've been around and they know the city's process. They've worked with the county. They have their systems built out and can tell you, your house will be done in 10 months and your house will most likely be done in 10 months unless
somebody steals your kitchen or something.
Right. Not a test, but so yeah. Number 3 is that there are inventory homes and then there are built from scratch homes, and there are 2 different avenues that you can go down. One is usually quicker and the other is longer. So an inventory home is when the builder foresees that, we're going to have an influx of military or an influx of people moving to the area. So they pick a lot, they pick a plan, they pick the inside colors, they pick all the selections, and they start building the house so that when realtors come in with their buyers, they have something to show them that's ready and available sooner than if they were to build it from dirt. Also, sometimes, like if someone has contracted on a house from a dirt start, so they've already started building it and then they can't qualify, or they had like a life-changing event and they need to get out of the contract, they'll put that house on their inventory sheet, and then that is also considered an inventory home. So those are homes where the finishes have been picked, you can't really customize anything anymore. They kind of, they'll show you like, this is the floor plan that we're building on this lot. These are the colors of the kitchen. These are the colors of the floors, the outside, all that. And you either take it or leave it. Those usually have more incentives than a dirt start, because the inventory homes, they want to move quicker. Like nobody is committed to buying that house, and it's going to cost them money to keep the house sitting on their books. So those usually have more incentives. Sometimes $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, sometimes even more to get those moved. I know we had someone close last year in December, and they walked into like $45,000 of equity because the builder had slashed the price on the inventory house so much that it was like significantly under what the house should have been.
And I think they got more because they raised the prices.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so that happens a lot.
So the other one is obviously a dirt start. So with a dirt start, you go to a community that you like. They'll tell you, we have these lots available. You pick a lot, you pick a floor plan. A note is that not every floor plan fits on every lot. So you have to check, like, does this floor plan that I like fit on this lot? We figure all that out. And then from there, you usually get a design center appointment where you go into a design center. If you're not here locally, we can do it via FaceTime, which I don't recommend. If you come to any appointment, come to that one, because you can't see the colors of tile, the color of cabinets through a FaceTime video. So you pick all that, and then they start building it. And then the house isn't yours. So that is number 4.
Yeah.
The house, a lot of people think, okay, I'm building a house and in this community, and it's my house. The house is not yours until it's finished and you close on the house. Now, if you were to buy a piece of land and then contract your own contractor builder, and they're building on a piece of land somewhere that's not in a community, then that is your land, and then that is your house the whole way through. But tract homes or volume builders that have a community, and you pick a floor plan and you have like pre-selected options, that house belongs to the builder until it is finished. And then when it's finished, you have your walkthrough, you check everything, make sure everything's okay, point out any things that, cosmetic damages or paint touch-ups and everything. Then you go to closing, and then the house is yours. So number 1, you don't pay for the house or the loan or the construction loan while the house is being built. That's all on the builder. They do their construction loans and everything. And then number 2 is that you can't make any changes or go into the house and I wanted some extra insulation here. I wanted to, drywall the garage. The house isn't yours. So you have to wait until closing.
What about lending with new construction? If I have my own mortgage lender, can I use that?
Yes.
Or do I have to use the construction?
Oh, we have 4 or 5. I forget.
I think 5.
Okay, I think so too. So there are preferred lenders, and you are not required to use them. There was one builder in town that was making it a requirement, but I don't know how they even got away with that, because you're free to choose whoever you want to use. So the preferred lender concept is the builder picks 1, 2, sometimes 3 lenders that they meet up with, and they are in constant communication with, where they come to their sales meetings, they keep in touch with them, and they recommend them to the buyer so that it's a more smooth process, because they vet the preferred lender, they make sure that they're familiar with their process and how their building timelines work. And so they usually, for you to use the preferred lender, will give you an extra incentive like $5,000, $10,000 to use the preferred lender, so that it's easier process on the builder, really, because like I said, they go to their sales meetings usually. They are in constant communication, where if you go to the builder and you're like, well, I want to use my lender, they most likely don't have a relationship with that lender, so it can be a little bit more challenging if it's not a good lender. Whoever we use is really good, and we vet them as well, and they know what they're doing. So for us, that's kind of where it comes into play again, that the sales rep for the builder represents the builder and we represent the client. So there's been many times where if you went with the preferred lender, you'd get a $5,000 incentive, but then your interest rate was 1% higher, for example, because they're building a marketing cost of using them as a preferred lender or something else, some affiliation fee or whatever, into that $5,000. So it looks free, but it's not. So then it's our responsibility to make sure you're getting a good deal. So we'll help you, compare that and say, or wherever you are, your realtor should be helping you to make sure that you're getting the best rate and that the incentive makes sense. So like if you're getting the $5,000 and you're getting a really good rate, then that's great. Then you should use the preferred lender. But if you're getting a $5,000 incentive or a $10,000 incentive and then your rate is much higher and you're paying on that every month, then maybe it doesn't make as much sense. So
I think the last thing to me as the husband in our marriage, the most important thing is the warranties.
Yeah.
Most builders have like a 1 year bumper to bumper warranty. So they'll come in and they'll fix anything that goes wrong. And it usually, I don't know, with most builders, it's about 10 years structural warranty.
So required by law in Colorado, it's 7 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And then some are doing 8 and then some are 10, but minimum 7.
7 years.
Yeah.
So when you buy another, like just a pre-sold resale home, you don't really get the warranties unless they, you buy an extra one. But with all new construction, like Vanessa said, we typically stay to the new construction homes when we buy investment properties just because of those warranties, and it helps us out a lot as well as landlords. In case anything goes wrong within that first year, we can get that looked at or fixed, or if anything goes wrong with the structure, and with the builder that we've used, it's 10 years. So we really like that, and I think that's really important too.
Yeah, because the fact that everything is new from the beginning. Sometimes you buy a resale house, the furnace is 10 years old, the AC is 12 years old, the roof is 6 years old. Those things during inspection when you're buying a used home, if it's still working, the seller is not going to replace it. So you're going to have to replace it sooner than later. In a new house, everything is new. You're starting from scratch. So the water heater is new, the roof is new, the furnace, all the mechanicals, everything is new. If something goes wrong, you're going to figure it out right away. But now if you move into your house and you put a huge hole in the wall from a couch, they're not going to cover that. But there's always something. And yeah, so that peace of mind, I do explain that to buyers quite a bit. Like if they're interested in new construction, you do have a little bit more security that like something's not going to break, probably mechanical wise, for at least 10 years. Yeah. Where, if you buy a used house and everything is 20 years old, you're going to be replacing it while you own it probably in the next couple years. And those are big expenses. So
those are the biggest things with new construction homes. But like always, feel free to give us a call if you're ever looking or have any questions. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you very much for watching, listening, however you're getting our content. We appreciate you guys. See you next time.
Talk to you later.
Share, and subscribe, please.